Right, look at that in the background, looks beautiful. This is a YouTube video analysis on a guy who I haven't really seen anyone cover. He's pretty unknown, Dreshaun. Let's get to the topic. He's tall, he's lanky, and he's good. Clearly, he's very good, and he's a new school wrestler. I saw many comments talking about, wow, like this heavyweight division, you know. Yeah, like, because it's 125 kilos is the max. And it's like, man, these guys used to be stocky and have a bit of fat. And the guy's like 6'5", 6'3", or something, all muscle. Plays football as well, so he's probably pretty quick. Like a defensive end build, and he's winning matches. So this guy was recently the junior national champion at Fargo. He beat a big stocky guy. Let's get it up. Just get that up. So Dreshaun, I think he's like 17 or 18. So pretty young. But one interesting thing was that he was in the under-20 national finals for the USA or something like that. So I think it might have been the national finals. So he's one of the best under-20 wrestlers in the United States, which is a top 3 wrestling country along with Iran and Russia. So the guy's already unreal, and he hasn't even started college yet. But he's committed to Oklahoma State, which is the college he's going to go to. I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the sauce. He looks pretty juicy, like in terms of like, he probably takes maybe 100, 200 grams of testosterone or something like that. But probably everyone does at that level. So guy's super talented, athletic freak. And he's strong enough at his frame, which is important. Because he does look pretty strong. Even though he's... Kobe Merrill it was. So... He looked significantly bigger this year than he did when he was like a freshman and he won JUCO at like 189 pounds. So he's clearly putting on a bit of muscle, and he's got like the veins and all that, but can't really blame him. This is gold standard. Look at that. Strong, just one. And the guy he versed, Kobe Merrill, he was a big guy. He was a short, stocky guy. And from what I saw in this match, like this guy had way bigger legs. Comparison. He was kind of engaging and then just snapping him. Like he would get that inside collar tie, get his forearm into the collarbone, and then just snap, and then he would circle. So it was kind of a bit of stalling a little bit. And then he got a nice push out, and then he got to start on the back at the end. So he won 3-2. A late push out as well. So if you look at that, he does look very kind of John Jones-like. He's got a super long frame. And he's been one of the best guys for a while. Although one thing is, you see, look at the shoulders. He does have a shoulder injury, and he underwent surgery for that shoulder injury maybe last year. It was like his junior year or something. So he missed his entire junior high school football season. And that's quite big because people have started recruiting him because of his wrestling talent and football. And people wondering, will he do both sports? Like, definitely a future prospect wrestler. But we could see what happens in football, or American football. And, yeah, a lot of people say he looks like Jamal Hill. He kind of does look like Jamal Hill. On his bio, he's actually got football before wrestling, which is kind of interesting. But, yeah, guy's looking super strong. I'm not sure if you can see his weight, but the people were estimating it to be around like 215, something like that. So yeah, definitely interesting. He seems to have a good blast double. He likes that double leg. He likes the single leg. A lot of his matches, he just looked a lot stronger than people, but he still had a 44-2 record for a bit, and he's won like 3 Fresco or whatever, those high school competitions. He did lose the under 20 match to the guy. It wasn't a terrible loss. He tried to go for some like whizzer or like neat whizzers when they were shooting on him, kind of, but couldn't really get it. And again, not against a super huge heavyweight, but it's interesting. He's got a very curved back. So I don't think he is the full 125. Yeah, if you look at that, I mean, that doesn't show everything. But he does, his posture, wow, look at that, backflip. But, curved back. His posture, he does look like he has quite a curved back. And he does have that shoulder issue, which obviously comes with wrestling. I can't really see a good picture of it. Google doesn't know what I'm looking for. Anyway, it kind of does look like that, even though he's on the ground. Doing well there, obviously. Yeah, just long, pretty strong, and an interesting kind of wrestler for them to be bigger and taller. I remember hearing about that from an Iranian coach, actually, how they used to think they are short and stocky people, but now they're actually looking for longer people in the academies. So, Satiev, the greatest wrestler of all time, arguably, was a bit of a lanky guy. I mean, obviously, strength is so important, and you want to be 100% muscle at your weight, especially in the tie-up and all that stuff, but he seems good. He had nice head position from what I saw. He was getting his head into the that temple, getting his head under the chin. So he seemed to be winning the hand fight battle with him, and he was circling as well. After the snap, he'll do a quick circle, reaching with the backhand. So he seemed pretty solid. He got the push out with his head, so he's gritty, feels like, and yeah. Good wrestler, good guy, could be a good, interesting guy to study, because personally, as a long guy, I'm like 6'4", and getting into wrestling in university, it's interesting being a taller guy, and people will be like, oh, stocky guys are the best wrestlers, but I think it always looks cool when you have a lanky guy like John Jones or someone wrestling well, and I think that shows how important weight training is, as well as a lanky guy. You got to be strong, because naturally you're going to have a shorter guy. If you're both all muscle, he's going to have more muscle, and you're going to have more bone at that weight. But yeah, looks strong. Apparently he's a defensive end or an outside linebacker. Made like 46 tackles or something. So yeah, and been wrestling since he was a little kid. I reckon after that shoulder injury he got, he probably hopped on a bit of testosterone. Fair enough, you want to heal the injury. And looks really strong now. But you can see, like, the guy's been good for a long time, but there's not too much information about him. There's not too much. Like, so he does freestyle and Greco. He looks so old for a young guy, which is crazy. I guess it's just big frame, muscle, but you know what? You only wrestle in high school and university really anyway, so by the time you get to uni, you should be pretty fucking good, especially that guy, because he's already probably top 3 in the country, top 2. So definitely looking like a future Olympian. Some people have said Olympic champ. I think it'll be really cool to see a guy with that kind of frame win a Olympics. So we did the 215 pound bracket. Ran through that. in February of this year. So he did aggravate a shoulder injury last summer, so that would have been summer of 2024. Probably been blasting a little bit of testosterone since then. I mean, fucking MMA guys do it, athletes do it, Olympic guys do it, so he looks like he has a good chance of being a solid prospect and a solid wrestler. He seems kind of a little bit gritty, a little bit mean, and I reckon he seems like he's got it. He's fast. I'm not sure how well maybe he can keep the doubles going, but the single was nice, and yeah, he's just a good wrestler. Of course, wrestlers know all their moves, but that was good. That's good. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Just saw a gap in the market. No one had made a video analysing Dreshaun Ross, so you might as well make one. This might not be the best ever, that's just the quick facts. Who is Dreshaun Ross? And there's not too much footage, but had a look through this quickly, the YouTube shorts that came up and the videos. There'll be way more once he goes to college, and I would have thought he went to Iowa with Cael Sanderson or Penn State with Cael Sanderson, because he had a bunch of offers, but he wanted to go to Oklahoma. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with football, because football is a pretty high injury sport. So you don't want him to break his neck or some shit in football, and then he never gets to be that Olympian wrestler. But chase your dreams, kid. It's crazy talking about a guy who's younger than me, but this guy's been wrestling since he was like 4 years old. And I've been wrestling like 2 months. So anyway, that's peace out.